Hey everybody, and welcome to McCardle Math Academy. In this video we will look at a word problem involving three sets where we have to count elements. Alright, so here's the statement of the problem. Assume that 1,000 people were surveyed and they were asked in the past month if they had gone to Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's. So the results of the survey showed that 500 had been to Burger King, 700 to McDonald's, 400 to Wendy's, and then these particular numbers had gone to either both Burger King and McDonald's, both McDonald's and Wendy's, or both Burger King and Wendy's. And it was found that 100 went to all three. And our job is to answer these three questions. How many went to only Wendy's, how many had been to none, and how many went to Burger King and McDonald's, but not both. So, of course, when you look at this, it looks pretty complicated, but we're going to dissect it and look at how this applies to our set theory that we've learned in this chapter. The first step to solve a problem like this is to actually convert all of the words to mathematical symbols. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that B represents the set of all people that ate at Burger King, M at McDonald's, and W at Wendy's. Okay? And now we're going to dissect the words of the problem and write down all of the information that we have. I'm going to pause the video and write that, and then I'll explain it in a second. So what I've done here is I've translated the words from the problem into notation involving sets. So for example, it says that 500 had been to Burger King. That means that the number of people that went to Burger King, so the set B is the number of people that went to Burger King, is 500. Same N of M is 700, N of W is 400, all from the statement of the problem. 300 had been to both BK and McDonald's, and that means that the intersection of the sets B and M must be of size 300. Same for McDonald's and Wendy's. Both McDonald's and Wendy's, that's the intersection here, etc. And all three means that we have an intersection of all three sets. B intersect M intersect W, we get 100. Now this is going to be really important as we continue. The next step would be to create a Venn diagram representing the three sets that we're working with. So we have B, M, and W here. And what I'm going to do is number each of the different segments that I see in my Venn diagram. So you can see that there are actually 8 different sections here. And just to explain this a little better, 1 represents the number of people that are in this part of the set, and those would be the people that only went to Burger King. For example, 2 represents the people that had been to Burger King and McDonald's, but not Wendy's. That's because it's in this little section here. And likewise for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now once we have the Venn diagram set up, our job is to actually find the values of 1 through 8. So find the number of people that reside in that region of the Venn diagram. So I have the Venn diagram here for reference, and I have all of the information that we gathered from our word problem here on the left side of this chart. What I'm going to do is fill in the right side of the chart in terms of the numbers 1 through 8, and I'll explain that in 1 second. So what you can see here is that I've translated this information. So for example, N of B is 500. That means that the number of people that had been to Burger King was 500. And on the Venn diagram here, I have 1, 2, 4, and 5 within that region. So I'm going to rewrite it as 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 is 500. Same for N of M. I get 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6. N of W is 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I get these two equations here. B intersect M is where B intersects M, and that's the regions 2 and 5. M intersect W is the regions 5 and 6. That's where M and W intersect. And likewise for the rest of these. But the key here is that B intersect M intersect W is really just the middle. So that number 5 is equal to 100. So what I have on the right side is a line for me to write the value of each of these numbers, and I already have number 5. So number 5 is 100. And we actually get a domino effect from there, and we can find every number 1 through 8 just using that piece of information. Since 4 plus 5 is 220, you can find that 4 is 120. Since 5 plus 6 is 250, you can find that 6 is 150. Since 2 plus 5 is 300 and 5 is 100, then 2 must be 200. And you can kind of see the reasoning that we're using here. This gets a little harder. You have to plug in the values, same here and same here, but you'll always be able to find that other unknown. So I'm going to plug in, I'm going to do that and get the answers right here. So I have the answers there on the right. Now to find 8, the key is that there were 1,000 people surveyed. So the entire chart here, the universal set was 1,000, and to find how many people reside outside, meaning how many people went to none of them, I'm going to take 1,000 and subtract 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And when you do that, you're going to get 70. Okay, so now I have what I wanted. I have all of my values, and I can proceed to answer the actual question that was asked. So the final step is to wrap it all up. These were the 3 questions that were asked. I have the Venn diagram for reference and the value of 1 through 8 here on the right. Let's look at part A. Part A says, how many went to only Wendy's? All right, so let's look at the chart. Let's look at our Venn diagram. If you went to only Wendy's, that would be right in here at number 7. These guys only went to Wendy's. So number 7 is 30, and therefore right away I can have my answer of 30 people. All right, and then we can look at B and C in a similar way. So B, how many had been to none? So not Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's. And if you look at the chart, that's the people that live right out in this region, and that's 8. So the answer is 70. And finally, how many went to BK or McDonald's, but not both? Let's look up at the Venn diagram. We want people who had been to BK and McDonald's. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But I don't want to include the ones that went to both, and that's 2 and 5. So really I have 1, 4, 3, and 6. And I'm going to add up 1, 4, 3, and 6. So 80, 120, that's 200, 450, and 6. So I'll get 600. So 600 people had been to BK or McDonald's, but not both. I hope this helps, guys. I'll see you next time.